So today, I want to talk about something that I think is very important. I was actually having a cup of coffee, a late cup of coffee for lunch, and I was thinking about having, a coffee conversation with you guys. I think I might do that on a regular basis. But I had done previous shorts on cognitive biases. And one of those was confirmation bias. So I just want to talk to you all just for a minute. This is not a lecture. I'm not a psychologist, so please don't think that. I am an attorney and not, I do deal with emotional intelligence. But, I just want to have this conversation as though we are sitting across from each other, coffee in hand, and we're talking about relationships and why things can get so complicated so fast. Because if you have ever found yourself thinking, why do I keep ending up here? Or why does the same issue keep showing up in my relationships? Then I think that's a conversation we can have today. And this conversation is for you. A lot of relationship problems aren't actually about the other person, they're about what our brain is doing behind the scenes. So one of the biggest culprits is something called confirmation bias. I promise this is not going to be anything clinical because I'm not clinical. This is going to be just a conversation. And I also want to say, don't get this twisted. This is not to say that there aren't issues with people if you have them, if you're in your relationship. If you see huge red flags, you need to address them yourselves in the right way and in a safe manner. But this specifically is about confirmation bias. So I do talk about red flags in a course that I have in my school, the Love Lounge. And it's called Hey Sis, Save Yourself, Not That Relationship. I also have a book that covers that topic if you want to go further into that. So, what is confirmation bias? So, confirmation bias is when your brain is looking for proof that you are right. That is it. It's when you start a belief about a person, about a relationship, about yourself, and then you unconsciously continue to look for evidence that supports that belief about that person, yourself, or relationship while ignoring everything else. And the key word here is unconsciously. This isn't you lying to yourself. This is not you being manipulative, but it is your brain doing what it is designed to do. Simply the world, you know, is simplifying the world so that it feels predictable and safe. So it is a safety mechanism for our brains. If you believe yellow is your lucky color, and then suddenly you see yellow everywhere, or if you believe people always let you down, and then suddenly every disappointment feels huge and every effort gets minimized. The problem is not that you are wrong. The issue is that you're not seeing the entire or the whole picture. So, how does this show up in relationships? So, confirmation bias really messes with our relationships with other people. Let's say you have decided that your partner is selfish, and then you notice this happening. You notice every time they forget something. You notice when they don't respond right away. You notice when they don't prioritize something. What you don't notice is the things they do quietly, the effort that doesn't fit your story, the moments where they show up in ways that don't match your conclusion. Your focus narrows. The brain has your focus narrowing. And once your focus narrows, your emotional reactions will follow. Your tone changes, your patience wears thin, your body closes off. I hear people say they shut down. And then that's when the relationship starts reacting to you. The distant grows. Then there's tension everywhere. And then your brain goes, see, I knew it. I knew it. I told you. So that negativity makes it worse. So now the brain moves into a negativity bias. And that means that we notice what's wrong way faster than we notice what's right. And we give negative things more weight. Um, some people see that and they go, oh, they're pessimistic. It's not, not necessarily that they're pessimistic. That may be some of it, but it's because you're human and that's what your brain does. Evolutionarily speaking, the person who noticed danger survived, right? The person who relaxed and appreciated the view did. So your brain is wired to treat problems like emergencies. In relationships, that means one criticism outweighs 10 compliments. One argument erases weeks of peace. And one bad moment becomes more memorable than 100 good ones. And when negativity bias teams up with confirmation bias, you start collecting proof of what's wrong and calling it being realistic. So, why does it feel so true? See, this is the tricky part. Confirmation bias doesn't feel like bias, it feels like clarity to you. Oh, I've seen this before. Oh, I know how this is going to end up. Oh, I trust my gut. But your gut isn't neutral, it is informed by your past experiences, your old hurts, and your unresolved conclusions. Your brain would rather be certain than accurate, and that certainly feels safer. That's what it wants. So being right, even about something that's painful, can feel oddly comforting. So how does this damage connect? So when confirmation bias runs the show, curiosity disappears, empathy shrinks, and communication turns into defense. You get really defensive. You stop asking what's really going on and you start asking, how can I prove what I already believe? That's when people stop feeling seen. That's when resentment grows quietly. That's when relationships um, start slowly to stall and fall apart. Not because people don't care, but because the perception has taken over the reality. So, how do we interrupt this pattern? So, here's the good news: confirmation bias can be interrupted, not by forcing positivity, and certainly not by ignoring red flags, as I stated at the beginning of the session, but by questioning the certainty. Two simple questions help more than anything else. What evidence supports this belief, and what evidence contradicts it? It's like you're in a court of law and you got to prove that case. What evidence do you have that supports the belief that you have, and which one contradicts? It's almost as if you have a pros and a cons column. You put all the pros, and you have to force yourself to put those pros, or you put all the cons, and you have to force yourself to put those cons, because all confirmation bias is not negative. Some of it is positive. You want to see a relationship in a positive manner, so you ignore all the red flags. But we're talking about the negative side. So instead of they don't care, try what else might be going on here. So curiosity will open up your empathy, your emotional intelligence IQ raises up, your empathy opens up, and judgment then shuts down. So, although your brain is trying to protect you, that's its job. That's what it's going to do. But understand that sometimes protection looks like it's keeping you stuck in the same story over and over and over again. Confirmation bias does not mean you're broken, it means you are human. But healthier relationships require more than being right. They require openness, they require flexibility, and they require the willingness to really look again. So maybe the question is not, how do I prove myself right? Maybe it should be, what else could be true? And that question alone could change everything about your relationship.